Guys, how's it going? So I wanted to do a video about my electronics. Over time I've gathered and garnered extra electronics that I use that kind of help me out in a day-to-day kind of forum. Sorry about the layout here. I'm using my tripod to keep it straight, but it's I don't know what's going on. But anyway, my electronics are important to me. They kind of provide a backup. Obviously I've got these battery packs, and they're pretty much first on my list. I did have smaller battery packs that I had, and then I got some money and I upgraded them to these larger ones, which are pretty good. And then, but even after that, that still wasn't good enough. I was spending, at the library, I was spending a good, 6 or 7 hours just to charge these up. I could, have plugs for them all, so I could plug them all in. But this one here, I didn't realize at the time, which my buddy Larry pointed out, is that even though they may have a large capacity, they don't necessarily have the ability to charge fast. This one is a fast charging battery, and over here I've got a fast charging system that basically allows for a faster charge, and I can charge this battery, this big hunk of battery, in about an hour, full up from 0 to 100. I can fill this one up, whereas these take all day, and it's just, you can look on the battery and see how fast they charge, how, it's like a pipeline or water almost. They get kind of, if it's a smaller pipe, doesn't matter how big the reservoir is, they're not going to charge as fast. But Larry sent me this, and that's been great for me, and the battery. And you have to get the right kind of battery for the fast charger to work. And also it plugs in, so it plugs in, it has its own plug. So I can plug this in and jack in all of these with a fast charging cable, and it really does the trick. Honestly, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Instead of spending 6 or 7 hours at the library charging my stuff, I can go there and go to a restaurant if I have the money, like a Wendy's, and I'll sit there and I can just, I can charge this guy up. And then, since I don't have a whole lot of these batteries, I just have one, I'll charge up this one, and when I get back to my tent, I'll plug this into these, and that charges these guys. So I'll have those as a backup, and then I'll recharge this the next time I go. So really cool setup, fast charging. It is revolutionary. I'm not spending 7 or 8 hours or days at a time at the library to charge up, and so I love it, love it, love it, love it. I guess while I'm thinking about it, secondly, I have a, here we go. This right now. This is plugged into my electric blanket. The blanket is, I can't really show you it, but I'm using it right now. It's on my lap. It's not that big, I got to tell you. It cost me, for the size of it, an arm and a leg. It was like $60 or something. But it's, in this cold weather, it is super helpful. It's about, I don't know, maybe 3.5, 4 feet long, maybe 2.5 feet wide, but it takes off the edge, and honestly, it does use up the batteries quickly, which is not my favorite, but it is USB-C, and I can recharge it and charge it as often as I like, and just having that in my tent really helps out. Having USB-C items, USB-C is important, just because they, USB-C, yeah, because it's faster charging than regular USB, and or USB-A or whatever it is, and honestly, I want stuff that's renewable. I want stuff that's gonna that I can recharge, and having to plug it into a full plug socket type thing doesn't really work for me. I need stuff that, like this, I do have a few things that are battery charged, but I prefer stuff that's going to be renewable, stuff that's really going to you know, that I can use over and over and over again, you know. Very important to me. All right, so next on my list, I got my blanket, got my my batteries, my fast charger. I've got phones. I've got a backup phone, so I'm recording on one, and I've got this one, you know, Obama phone or whatever. I've got a hair trimmer, you know, a nose or an ear hair trimmer. As I'm getting older, I just get nose and ear hair sprouting out of all parts of my body or whatever, and so this is handy. I've got a red light. Larry sent me this. It's a red light only headlamp. He sent me some batteries to go with it. I love this thing. It's great. You know, it doesn't draw attention is the thing, and I know, and it doesn't really ruin your night vision, you know, so that's great, but I just like to have it so that I can get things done. I can't really use it to read by. I guess I could maybe, but, you know, it just works for me. I've got my YouTube, or my YouTube, my Bluetooth, earphones, which I need. That's important. I tried using the wired. For a long time, I was getting the wired earphones just because I could plug them in. I didn't have to worry about charging them. But honestly, the jack and my earphones would go bad. I'd say once every 2 or 3 weeks, and I have to buy new ones. So that wasn't working out. So these work much better. These are at Walmart at the checkout line for like, I don't know, 10 or 20 bucks, and these are great. I've got hair clippers, so looks like I need to charge that. But this is my second pair of hair trimmers. You know, like getting a haircut nowadays is like 25, 30 bucks at Great Clips. So this one I can just go into the bathroom somewhere, shave my head, and I'm good to go. I just use the next to the lowest setting. This has got like a ceramic type deal, and it's got a bigger battery area, and so I really like this. It's really been working for me, but it saves me from getting haircuts, you know. I don't have to worry about that. I got a watch. I normally don't include this. I forget to include it because I'm wearing it, right? But I have a watch, and this is I bought this 2 years ago. Because, you know, when you're on the road, you want to know what time, like I started out on the road, walking across the country, and you want to know what time it is, you know, or you want to time yourself, or you want to know what date it is, or what day it is, and having a watch is a way to stop having to constantly turn on your phone, or take it out of sleep mode to see that, and it's just handy, honestly. It's very handy to have, and, you know, I like it. It's got a little night light if I need it, but I use this a lot. Next on my list are hand heaters. This is the most recent addition to my life. They're hand heaters, so basically they're magnetic, but yeah, you can kind of turn them on, and this one's got a full charge. This one does too. How cool. But basically they'll heat up together. You know, normally I buy hot hands, these guys, right? But these heater deals, I can, you know, they're good for about 6 or 7 hours once fully charged, and I can put one in either pocket, and it just stays toasty warm. I'm not a big fan of these because one side of them is plastic and does not really heat up, whereas the other side heats. But, you know, I mean, you know, they're like 20, 30 bucks. I've got them in Walmart, so maybe not the best representative of the hand heaters, but still cool. Still cool. I like them. They keep my hands warm, and they're, you know, once again, they are USB-C rechargeable, and so I don't have to worry about if I'm ever out of money, like not keeping my hands warm. So that's pretty cool. This guy here is a USB MP3 player. I got this at the start of my trek. I've got some songs on here. I've got some like resume on it somewhere, and I have this just because I wanted something separate of my phone, like my watch, that I could utilize for entertainment, for listening to music and stuff. and it's got the hole for the headphones. I haven't really used this in a while. I've long since transferred that information to my phone, but it's good to have. It's good to have. That way you can listen, you know, and it takes like I think it's a small battery, like a AAA, and you know, it's good for several days worth of listening, and that way you don't have to worry about, you know, you can just like listen to your music. It's a good thing to have. You know, I'm a smoker, we all know that, right? And so let's see, how do we open this? So I've got my, I don't know if this is still working. Yeah, it is. There we go. See? So it's my USB lighter, and I got this because, you know, once again, it's USB. Where does it plug in? Somewhere. I think it's, I don't know where it plugs in. It plugs in somewhere. Maybe I have to open it up for it to plug in somewhere. Yeah, I have no idea. I lost the ability to figure out where I plug it in at. I'll have to play with that later. Oh, there it is. It's on the side of the, you have to open it up. But basically, having a USB lighter, I haven't actually used it because I haven't needed it. I've had BIC, but once again, if I ever get to a point where I don't have any money and I don't have any BIC lighters, I can use this, and it's just good to have, you know. Anything that's rechargeable is good to have, right? So I have all this, and my blanket, I've shown you that. The one thing I don't have on here, which I have had in the past, and it's mainly because I live in the Pacific Northwest, and that is backpacking solar panels. You'll probably, if you go back on my older videos, you'll see that I've had solar panels before, and they're not all created equal, and they do, you know, if you're in a sunny area, they do work very well. You know, I mean, I don't think it would charge up one of these guys, one of these monsters, but they would certainly charge up part of it throughout the course of the day. And when you're, you know, when you're out in the bush, it's a good way to constantly be connected, right? But backpacking solar panels are of no use in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, yes, there are sunny days here. Like, it looks like today's a sunny day, but honestly, it's, you know, you're not going to get any kind of use out of them. And, you know, I'm not that far out of the bush that I can't just go to the library and charge up my batteries. So, that's that. This is my setup. It's everything. The only thing that weighs a lot are these batteries. They're pretty heavy and hefty, but everything else is fairly lightweight. And I carry all this stuff on me all day. I actually have cords and stuff over here, but that's not even the beginning of it. When I go to the library, I feel like I'm a Borg on Star Trek, and I'm plugging into my alcove. There are like, I plug in all of my, I have plugs and stuff, and I plug in all of my battery packs, everything that I need on a daily basis. And so, but yeah, this is it, and I think it's a good amount of stuff, and it keeps me sane in a lot of ways. The earphones, my phones, the fast charger. The fast charger, I wish I had known about. I guess I knew about it back in the day, but you know, back in the day, there was always like, you got to get the right chipset or something like that. But this is, you know, it just works, man. And you know, I got the fast charger, I've got the fast charging cord and the fast charging battery, and you get all three of those, and zoom, zoom, zoom. It's freaking great. Anyway, I hope your road's a good one, and if you're homeless, I hope it doesn't suck for you. Peace.